Good morning. It's a good time, good reminder. You haven't taken your berberine or whatever supplements you're taking to enhance your efforts. Now's a good time to do it. And good morning, everybody. Don't overdo it. That's not good either. Faith, nutrition that's practical, sustainable, and fun. Exercise via walking and stretching and supplementation. It works for everybody, and it's more powerful than any prescription drug. I guarantee it, with no side effects. No negative ones anyway, only good ones. Good morning. This is our fast track. We will have our 10:30 I Am Faithfully Fit session. Those of you that do the Bible reading with us, that's been my most that's been the best part of my day every day since we started that towards the after Christmas. And we will get that caught up. We didn't do it yesterday, Sunday, so we will get that caught up around noonish, and then before bed we'll get our reading caught up. There's a group of us committed to prayer for others, bearing one another's burdens, and reading through our Father's Word in 1 year and relating it to wellness when He gives the unction. So sometimes we just read it through and connect with each other for 20 minutes. Sometimes someone gets a thought. In fact, we had a meeting breakout in like the second meeting. We had a good one. So you just never know what's going to happen. But if you'd like to join us, we would love to have you. Those of you joining us via Facebook, welcome. We do this every week. We would love to see you get started this week. But if not this week, maybe next week. If we overthink this thing, we will procrastinate. Is there anyone but me that does that? You start overthinking and then you procrastinate? Where if you would just go with your highest passion and what God has put in your heart, you'd start now. You'd start in the present moment. But then we go to thinking. Fear of failure. Hannah says all the time, fear of failure. Worried about, well, I got this coming up or that coming up. You still got to eat. All we're doing is focusing on what we can have, not on what we cannot have. But we have to have the tools. We have to have the knowledge. We need knowledge according to zeal. This program works for everybody. I had a conversation with a sister last night, and she said, it doesn't seem to be working as well this time as last time. It will work the very same if you do it the very same. Biology hasn't changed. The only thing that changes is as we age, we do lose a little muscle mass and bone density. So metabolic rate comes down ever so slightly, but it doesn't change. It's us that changes. God's unchanging. He created biology. It works the same for all of us. It's all about our minds, how we see a thing. And I want to encourage everybody before we get started here, I want to encourage you to continue your evolution. If you met me last year, I'm not the same person this year. If you met me 5 years ago, I'm not the same person this year. We're all evolving and changing and growing. We're conforming to the image and likeness of Christ. That's why He says the end of a thing is better than the beginning of a thing. So we've got an ending of an old thing, and we've got the beginning of a new thing. And it's up to you how you approach that. Do I have anybody that's fired up? Let me just ask you this as we go into fast track this morning. Motivation. If 10 is I can whip a bear with a switch, Brother Travis, and 1 is I barely could get out of bed this morning. Where are you on that scale? On a scale of 1 to 10. 5 meaning, Paulette's a 10. I like it. Mark that in your journals, by the way. It is okay to faith it until you make it. It is okay to say 10 if you're feeling a 5. You'll probably end up a 10 because your words are so powerful. Anyone else? What's your motivation this morning? Drop that in the comments. If you're watching on Facebook, please like and follow. Help us break through the algorithms. We can't defeat AI on our own. We cannot defeat machine learning on our own. We need the help of God's people. Jennifer is a 10. Good morning, everybody. Lots of teaching to do here at 9 and 10, letting people get in here. Dina says, I'm a 5. I appreciate the honesty. Dina, be thinking about what we can do to get that to a 10. We need to get it at least to an 8. Did I just pull these numbers out of the sky? No, we have that motivation, the people that actually use the program. We have that motivational level in the journal, and it tells a lot. You can see that line graph go with the results for a person. If you're motivated, the people that aren't doing the line graph, they don't have any success to show for it, are not engaging. So we need to engage, and you did, because you said I'm a 5. I'm kind of So we know that we won't stick around if we're a 5. Bible says, I wish thou were cold or hot, but thou art lukewarm. Therefore I spew thee out of my mouth. That we have a program built that way. Perfect days, holidays. First day back, welcome back. That's good then. 5's good. You're just getting back. If we can get you to a 6 before the end of this, and then you come several times this week, maybe we'll end the week at a 10. Believe and you shall achieve. Yep. Thank you, Lisa, for that reminder. Lisa is my assistant for those of you that are just back. A little bit of housekeeping as we get started teaching Fast Track. We teach Fast Track new each week, beginning on Monday. If I take off, I let everybody know, but I don't have any plans of taking off in the foreseeable future. So these Fast Track lessons, these live lessons can be very helpful to you. We have them almost every morning. So just keep an eye on that. You can sign up for the text notifications. We're a praying group. There is a prayer corner on the website. Please engage with that. Let us know your needs. We are recruiting people to pray over those daily. We are a ministry first and foremost. If you feel the unction to pray for people, let us know so that we can get you in that group, vet that out, figure out the best way, find some leadership for it. Y'all agree with me? If we don't put God in prayer first, having some abs or getting in a little black dress doesn't mean a lot, does it? How many of you agree with that? Say amen. Don't forget, if you're on Facebook, like and follow. Help us break through the algorithms. You'll get more reminders that we're live. This is a lot about keeping these thoughts top of consciousness, because you've never been inundated more than today with information, and most of it's false information. It's coming from AI. It doesn't line up with your values, but if you put yourself in a silo of algorithmic hell, pardon the French, it's true, then you will. That's why the Bible says, be careful, because even the very elect, if they could be deceived, would be deceived in those last days. But it's not possible if you're the elect of God. But get out of that silo, or at least be aware, so that you don't get absorbed into the matrix. All right, I'm going to get started. Welcome, everybody. We're glad that you're with us. We will have the I Am Faithfully Fit session at 10:30. I want to start you right before I get back there on the board, and I will answer questions. Do we have anybody that's brand new this week, or you're starting over for the first time in a long time? I want to know, I want to be aware of you. Anybody that's starting for the first time, I'm not going to pick on you. I just want to know, I want to be aware that we have people that are, okay, we got Susan starting over. Good, Susan. Good deal. Let me mute that. Dina starting over. Good. I knew you were, Dina. Great. Well, I'm going to show you how to get started over. And I want y'all to do, we got 2 ladies, 3 ladies. I want y'all to do something for me, okay? You have to have a willing and wanting heart. No matter what we're doing, even if we're an expert in it, we have to humble ourselves, and sometimes we have to forget what we know, because we missed something the first round, or we wouldn't be here, right? We'd be here, but we wouldn't be starting over. So what I want, and that's normal. Life gets in the way. But make a decision. Make a decision. Decide, do, and it's done. And I need you to go through these steps and then reach out to me. Okay. When you've completed this homework, I've got a new way. This weekend, as I was realizing I cannot answer all these messages. It's a beautiful thing. I love it, but everybody has those personalized needs. So I've installed myself a vetting process to make this simple. We will funnel through the folks that really need that one-on-one attention. They need it and they deserve it if they can get through the hurdles, right? So we all start out the same. It's like a triangle, building the foundation. And then as we go up, a lot of people fall by the wayside because they were not ready. But then you get to the top of this homework triangle, then, hey, just let me help. Okay, I'll help you personalize your journey. So we got to start off at the base of the triangle and work our way to the top. So your first homework, and you're not going to love it, but your first homework is to log in and go through the fast track videos and do so with integrity. Do so with integrity. So I go to the fast track tab and I go to fast track with Travis and I start watching the videos. Okay. I need you to do that with integrity. With integrity, meaning you're not just washing dishes and trying to listen in with the grandkids talking. You're actually listening intently, maybe even taking notes. It doesn't take long. Most of them are 10 to 15 minutes. It won't take long at all. Let's reinstall that good foundation. Any resource materials you need will be up here at the top. And then when we get done, we'll take the quiz. We're not ready yet, but we'll take the quiz and I'll give you the next step. Okay, but we also need to journal. You've got to journal your day. We need to mark our type day at a minimum, and we need to enter anything that we ate. The way I do that, my trick is to take a photo with my smartphone of every word that I consume, everything that I consume. And at the end of the day, your method of operation may be different. But at the end of the day, I enter that into my journal. If you are doing the report card aspects of the program, you got a report card, then you need to enter each section of the journal. You've got a supplement section and you've got an exercise section. But if you're not working with the report card, I really need you to do this page. I need you to get in touch with yourself. Is that fair? Live class, watch the fast track videos, and everything that you eat, we put in here. Can you do that for me? Hey, Brother Chad. And then what I want you to do, we've got a mentor program coming so that I'm not inadequate. We're not there yet. I expect to launch several things this week that people have been waiting on. And then we'll have mentors we can match you up with. But I need you to get through those hurdles, and then I need you to reach out to me and say, I got through those hurdles, what's next? And then we go to the next step. And it won't be long. It's kind of like when Dad was teaching me to ride a bike. After he taught me after he taught me to ride a bike, it was a motorcycle. And what happened, he put me on that thing and he's guiding it. And I'm wobbling and falling and asking for advice and getting help. And but it wasn't long that he was just behind me and didn't have his hands on the bike at all. And then the next thing I know, I got this. You'll probably get it before you ever need me beyond fast track and journey. There's fast track videos, journey videos. But if you plug into the system, you can do this anywhere with mama, with your mama, their recipes. Doesn't matter. We cover every single base. If it's related to wellness, we cover every single base, and we basically do it for nothing. We will invite you at some point to come go with us at I Am Faithfully Fit and be a part of our accountability system. We've got a great blossoming accountability system. Hey there, we've got all of the books, Chad, in digital format. The last book that I expect to come out is the one coming out here this month. There's been a slight delay because we had to figure out some legalities, but all of the books are currently being shipped, and they're digital format and hard copy. And then we've got the new book coming out. You also have books, they're out of date, but if you're a book person, you don't have to wait. These are out of date. I would, for me, for my money, I would say, I think all the books are great, but if I was going to point people to two books, it would be the Blowtorch Meal Ideas, because that teaches food combining and gives you lots of ideas. And then this new faith-driven book. I like the journal. There's tips in it, but the Blowtorch book should be necessary reading if you're serious about changing your lifestyle. And as popular as the Blowtorch book was, the faith-driven book is 10 times the book that one was. So lots of good stuff. If you prefer not to wait on a book and you want to go to digital books, you have all the old books, but again, very much outdated. The information still works. They're just not comprehensive. So you've got those digital books if you prefer to read. They're in the digital section of resources. That Blowtorch one is a good one. Yeah. But Karen has those, and we're still shipping them. I don't know how many she has left. All right, everybody, we're going to get this party started. So everybody knows where to start. There's no questions about that. I'm going to elevate here, and we're going to get on the whiteboard today, and we're going to start teaching some nutrition. Yes, we are still having our Faithfully Fit session and Bible reading today. Absolutely. All right, everybody. Here we go. So we're starting out. You're watching your videos. This is the lesson I've been teaching for 20 years. And like you, God orders your steps. I had no plan. They just pulled up a whiteboard and said, "Can you show us?" And I said, "Okay." I'd been doing grocery tours, and I wound up in a gym, Pro Performance over in Rome. And Scott said, "Here's a whiteboard. Go over it." And I said, "Okay, let me see if I can do that." So we're going to start off teaching general nutrition. Okay. So first of all, we start with the term that all of us know about: calories. Are all calories created equal? Calories is just energy, y'all. I put this on the board more for me than you so I can keep up with where I'm at, but calories are energy. Yes, there is a definition that's scientific about that. We don't use that because calories is energy. There's 3,500 calories stored in 1 pound of fat. I was over 100 pounds overweight, but for math's sake, let's say 100. So at 100 pounds overweight, I had eaten more than my fair share by 350,000 calories, Chad. 350,000 calories that I didn't need, that somehow I convinced myself that I needed. And we are a faith-based program. We're not perfect people, but we're a faith-based program, and we're working on ourselves daily. So 3,500 calories, what was I doing? Because I wasn't hungry. How did I convince myself I was hungry? I was using food as a coping mechanism. And I think the reason this runs so rampant in the faith-based community is because it's one of the things we can get away with. It's not drugs, it's not alcohol. So we turn to food because it's socially acceptable, and it's more socially acceptable in the church than anywhere else. Most people can't listen to the preacher more than 20 minutes because they got to go eat, get there before the lines get there. It's a mess. It's a mess. And, you know, you got the Church of the Living God is the least healthy populace in the United States. We're less healthy than people living in poverty. Did y'all know that? These are facts. 74 to 76% of Americans are either overweight, obese, or morbidly obese. When I started, that was in the 60% range 20 years ago. Now it's 74 to 76%, and most of that is coming from the Bible Belt. We strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. We can sing, I'll fly away, I'll meet him in the clouds of glory, but I can't lose weight. You can do it, but we got to quit using food as a coping mechanism. Food is a solution for real hunger, and you're not hungry 5, 6, 7 times a day. We can have up to 3 eating episodes. We have an entire lesson about that, but we can have up to 3 eating episodes. If you need a 4th, we teach you how to do that and do it and still control what? The fat bus. That sucker's coming. Yeah, I'm going to wreck your Mexican restaurant meal, because every time you eat those chips, I want you to hear Travis's voice, his annoying voice go, ha. Fat bus is coming. The fat bus is as the fat bus does. And your appetite goes up, fat storage takes place, and efficient fat burning stops for 2 days. This all begins and ends with calories, energy, 3,500 calories stored in 1 pound of fat. This is on the test. This is on the fast track test. Pat says, I always hear you in my head. Bless your heart. If you was married to me, you'd divorce me. So you got 1 pound of fat, 3,500 calories. It's good. Later you can make fun of yourself, right? All right, so 3,500 calories stored in a pound of fat. So I overeat by 350,000. Take the number of pounds that you want to lose and multiply that times 3,500. That's a little shocking. And the only way to get it off is not a mystery. You have to control insulin, operate in a deficit with your calories. So we need to understand this thing called calories, and they're not little critters that get in the bed and sew your clothes tighter at night. They're in food. But we've always heard and been told, Melissa, that all calories are created equal. In fact, if you go to your doctor, he or she will tell you, if you've got diabetes, don't worry about the carbs typically. They'll tell you, don't worry, just take your insulin. They're not really invested and don't have time to teach. So let's just take insulin. I've got someone in my family. It wasn't due to obesity, but ended up with type 1. And we're told, you're okay with carbs. Just match up the right amount of insulin with the grams of carbs. This isn't good. Calories are not created equal. Let's evoke your common sense. We know that 1,000 calories a day is a low calorie number for anybody. We know that represents 1,000 calories a day, a low enough level that we could lose weight. But let me ask you commonsensically, if I eat 1,000 calories a day of chicken and broccoli, person A is eating 1,000 calories a day of chicken and broccoli cooked in MCT oil, And person B is eating 1,000 calories a day of Oreos and milk. Which one is going to live longer, have a better quality of life, and be on less prescriptions? It's common sense. All calories are not created equal because the hand of man has touched them and corrupted them and processed them to the point it's not even food anymore. And you're having these huge elevations of It's got to stop. They're killing us, y'all. So we have to understand how these calories break down. We have to begin with the end in mind, and that's what we're teaching this week. How do these calories break down? So let's start with these. This is a lot of fun if you'll have fun with it. Let's talk about the first category. It's called evil. Evil! We think they're food, but the whiter the bread, the quicker you're dead. White rice, white pasta. This little plate, this portion plate with pasta, not even piled up, white pasta, regular Mueller's angel hair, that what you get at the Olive Garden, that pasta is equivalent to 30 teaspoons of pure sugar. It's death by 1,000 cuts. We can have pasta, but we need to make sure it's fortified with protein and fiber. We have endless numbers of pastas that you can have, so you don't have to give up your pasta, and we can control insulin. But we've got to get rid of the evil and all their kinfolks except for a few days. Let me jump over there. I teach it different every week. Each and every day, we're going to have either a perfect day or a holiday. I will be reinforcing this all week because this is the foundational part of the system that allows the physical body to lose weight. We know it's 99% mental, so we got to work on that. But if we want a good physiological result, we've got to buy into the perfect day holiday philosophy. Does anybody know if I'm in weight loss mode, how many holidays can I have a month where I eat whatever I want? I can have 6. 6 holidays a month, 72 a year. I won't even need 72 because I'll reach my goal before, if I stick with this, before that's ever up. Now, it's better to have little hollow meals, not hog trough days, but I can have hog trough days as long as my other days are perfect. So all we're asking for you to correct your life, if you're an alcoholic, you have to become a teetotaler. You can't ever have it again or you'll fall back into depravity, right? But with this, we can have 24 to 25 perfect days, 6 holidays a month, and get our life back in less than a month. What do I mean? Well, you can lose, depending on how you start, 10% of your beginning body weight. That means I could lose 30 in a month with serious application of the program, 20 at least. And if I lose 20 pounds, just that is life-saving, life-sustaining. And I can lose up to 100 if you've got depending on your seriousness with the program. If you're a man, we've got a few more men here than we've been having. It's good to see you. If you're a man and you've got 100 pounds to lose, I'm going to call my brother out. If you can't lose it in under 6 months, there's something wrong. You got some stinking thinking going on there. And we just got to decide, because us men, bone density, muscle mass, we can lose up to 100 pounds in less than 6 months. I lost 44 in 6 weeks, more than 100 in less than 6 months. No endless men in the program that have done that with a serious attitude baked in. They're ready to go. Ladies, easily 100 pounds in a year. We've got ladies that's done it in less than 6 months. But easily 100 pounds in a year, 150 in 18 months, 200 in 2 years. Instead of dealing with this over and over and over, I just seen Linda come in. I think Linda's down, what, is it over 100, Linda? Something like that.
Are you talking to me?
Of course I am.
Well, I didn't know. There's a lot of Linda's. I'm just within about 6 pounds of being 100. But I'm fitting. I'm having a hard time. I'm fitting into so many clothes that I haven't worn. Okay, this sounds dumb. Since the 80s.
Wow. You don't
Okay, I saved a few favorite things, and there I always bought classic kind of clothes, not trendy. And I'm telling you, I haven't tried my wedding dress on, but I'm going to. I don't weigh what I did when I got married, but my I don't know, stuff is shifted. It's better. Um, so if I can fit into my wedding dress, I'm like, I don't even care what the numbers say, but I should. But I don't know. I'm having a hard time. I just have few pounds. I've been messing around for I don't know how many months. I've weighed 144. Anyway,
great.
yeah, almost 100, but I'm happy.
Great job. Great job. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of heart to do that. Congratulations.
Well, thank you, but my heroes are Patricia and Cindy and Penny, and there's a bunch more. That are so faithful about journaling, and I haven't been, which is so bad. I know, but I pretty much eat the same thing all the time. I don't need a big variety. I don't know. And I do exercise every day.
Good. Great job. Fantastic. Only thing,
Thank you.
only thing I want y'all to do that she's not doing is journal.
I
We're
know.
we're always vulnerable to relapse if we're not journaling. So please journal. Good job.
Yes, sir.
Good job. All right. So we're living the life. There's no, if I so much, everybody listening, you may not have bought into this in the past because it sounds harsh. You may have had success without buying into this, but it was limited. If you so much as lick the cheese dust off a dirty Dorito, that's a holiday. Because if you get close to the fire, you're eventually going to get burned. You got to have that ethos. I'm either going to do it right or it's not right. There is no lukewarmness. That's how I gained my weight. I wasn't a hog. I thought I was, but it was all those lukewarm days, willy-nilly eating that got me in trouble. Once I get into maintenance, I've hit my happy weight. I woke up this morning at 11% body fat. I hover between 9 and 11. I used to be 44% body fat. What changed in my life was living these type days, having either perfect days or holidays, either strictness and structure or not. But there's no more in between. We're used to my calories might be okay, but I might eat 3 Hershey Kisses. And you think that doesn't matter, but it bumps up. It doesn't surge, but it bumps up your blood sugar, and you can never get your blood sugar to the line and maintain the line where insulin levels are low enough for you to lose body fat. Let me just hit the fat bus. Insulin is the fat bus. Insulin is secreted by your pancreas to regulate your blood sugar, and if you didn't have that, you would die. If you're a diabetic, you know this because you have to have insulin from outside of yourself because your pancreas is no longer working. If you have pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes, that is an amazing warning from the Lord. You have time to fix this and reverse this. But once you get type 1, without a miracle of God, there's no reversal. You can manage it with this program, so don't use that as an excuse. The less insulin you have to administer, the better off you're going to be. They've proven this over and over with endless studies. It's not about the Splenda. It's not about all that's good blogging and a good way to make money for companies. What we have to look at if we're looking at quality of life and longevity is your BMI, your body fat percentage, and are you controlling insulin? That's what we look at. So the insulin is the fat bus. Oh, in maintenance, I almost left that behind. In maintenance, I can have 12. 12 holidays a month, 18 perfect days. That's almost half the month. If I can't do that, Miss Tammy, I'm in trouble. I need to go back and revisit my why. I need to revisit. I'm not trying to be mean. I need to revisit my values and my view of life. This present moment. I want to be my best so I can enjoy the present moment. There will be people that won't get started this week because you're caught in your carnal mind, worrying about the past, regretting the past, worried about you won't be able to do it in the future, and you miss out on the present moment through procrastination. Decide, do, and it's done. We get to maintenance, we work hard together and celebrate when we get to maintenance. We get to maintenance and we can have up to 12 holidays a month. And as long as we don't slip back to licking cheese dust off a Dorito and calling it a perfect day, as long as we have perfect days and holidays, I can keep that weight off forever. I've proven it through my efforts, the efforts of others. Glory to God. But will you decide, or will you keep chasing shiny objects, wasting time? Oh, I lost 10 pounds in a week on that shiny object, but you gained it back, didn't you? You need a practical, sustainable, fun lifestyle. This is the story of the tortoise and the hare. You can come out of the gate real strong, but not much for endurance. But if you'll just be steady as a clock, that's right, don't go chasing waterfalls. Yeah, that's a song, isn't it? Yeah, we just told our age, didn't we, Paulette? So I remember that song. Don't go chasing them. There's no treasure at the other end of that rainbow, but hard work. And it's not hard. If you think that this is hard, you have to change up your thoughts about what hard is. It was a lot harder for me to be over 300 pounds and on many prescription medications than it was to go in and do what I needed to do to get it off. Choose your hard. And in fact, it's not even hard. It's easy. I still eat all the same foods I used to eat, except for the ingredients are different. Am I making sense today? If you're an experienced member and you don't come to these classes and hear things that you know and go, I love this because it reminds me it works, something's wrong. This is fun. God give us food to enjoy, and we don't even enjoy it if we eat it endlessly. We become desensitized to it. We're just using it as a coping mechanism. In fact, you have some strict red column days, and then you finally get your birthday treat on your birthday. It's the best tasting thing ever. And then the next day we get right back to it. We got a good system here. Give into it. Surrender to it. Don't rebel. The fat bus is as the fat bus does. Our program controls the fat bus. Appetite goes up, fat storage takes place, and EFB, efficient fat burning, stops for up to 2 days. All I'm doing is living my life with intention. I've got a week. Now, this is all in the website too, so you can see when you're in efficient fat burning mode. All I'm doing is living each day with intention as it relates to my eating. So if I have a perfect day on Monday, I'll lose water weight, but I'm not tapped into fat yet. I've not been burning the fat. It takes 2 days of following the rules that are easy to follow. Then I get in EFB, and then I can lock it down and rip off the knob. Z93. This is our Z93 component. If I can manage Tuesday, here's what happens. Are y'all listening? Do I have your attention? Listen to this. This is the mental part. This is the mental. We're going to tap into the mental for a minute. Here's what happens. You start on Monday. Jackie Gleason says the best day of a diet's the second day because by then you're already off of it. This is why. Monday, you start and you do it right. You know that I've asked you not to weigh every day until you know you can handle it. But you do it, and on Tuesday, you started off at 300, and on Tuesday, you're 292. Am I speaking to you? You've lost 8 pounds, and then you go 8 pounds times 30 days. I'll lose 240 pounds this month. Yay! You're excited. I'm doing this again. And Tuesday, you're at 292, and you do it, and then you lost 8 pounds from Monday to Tuesday, and then Wednesday, you lost 3 more, and you're down to 289. I got members this happens to every week. Can you imagine me sitting there with my hands in my face when they tell me that it didn't work for them on the 4th day? Listen, there's 11 pounds down, and you're going, well, I didn't lose as much. I did not lose as much, but it still worked. It just didn't work as good. You're already getting down and out. Has that ever happened to anybody? All this was just water weight and glucose. It had to go. It's still weight. It's still inches, but it's not fat. Fat doesn't come off at that rate. So Wednesday, you're in EFB. You're in efficient fat burning mode now. You're losing mostly fat. You've depleted your glycogen stores, and now we're rocking. And then on Thursday, the scale say 288. What happens? Discouragement sits in. Starts to settle. Oh no, I knew this would happen. Some of you, come on, you being your own accuser, has that happened to you? I knew this would happen. It don't matter how many times you hear me teach this part, you still do that though. You're like, I knew it would happen. Chasing waterfalls. So then Thursday, you're in EFB. The fat is flaking off. It's flaking off. But you pull back in a little water. You pull back in a little glucose, and it's masking your results. Now watch. On Friday, you get up, you had another perfect day, and you're at 289. What? I'm getting better at it. And I gained a pound. I knew this would happen. I knew this would happen. Right? So you're in EFB. That water, some of the water and glucose is covering up the fat that's coming off because you're controlling insulin. You're in a calorie deficit. Am I preaching to the choir? Now look, I've had 3 days of EFB and I didn't lose any weight. This must not be working, but in fact, you have lost probably a pound of fat. You've probably lost this much space off your body, but psychologically, the devil's got your number and is tricking you into quitting. And then here's what happens. Saturday, you go out with your hubby or your wifey, and then that night, you have a holiday. You have Mexican chips and cheese dip. You have, you tear it up. So you have a holiday, and it was allowed. Travis said it was allowed. And then Sunday, you get up and you are at 298. Are y'all with me? You're at 298 and you're like, what? One night? Just one night? And I gained it all back, but 2 pounds? This is never going to work. Well, you didn't gain it all back, but you pulled in a lot of water and sugar because the carbs latch on to water molecules 2 to 3 times their weight, and they pull in. And if you didn't quit and you get back on Monday and you just have a perfect day, the Monday before you were at 300, and now on this Monday you're at, you get through Monday, and on Tuesday morning, because you got back to it, you're at 292 again. This is how the body works, but you have to be ready for that. It's going to take you 6 months to get off 100 pounds. You can lose in your first month if you stick to the system and trust it. What can we expect? If you're starting, if you're just starting or coming back after a long hiatus, that's right, Paulette, 10%. So if I start at 250, I can lose 25 if I'm serious. Half that if I'm not so serious, but pretty serious. Then once you get through a month, how much can I lose every week? 1%. So I'm down to 240 after losing 60, or, well, no, let's say I'm down to 240 after starting off at 255. I can lose 2.4. And it's mostly going to be fat at that point. So we got a system, but we have to trust it and stick to it and don't go chasing rainbows. This is all in the fast track. Now, I'm going to be teaching you food this week, but today's a good day to talk through expectations so that you remember this when you think the going's getting tough. If I know how to have a perfect day and I'm honest with myself, I'll never have a problem if I am doing this on the honor system. I need to know how to define a perfect day. So a perfect day, for me to have it, here's all I've got to do. Today I've got a checklist. Did I drink my water? A half a gallon to a gallon. If you're using the progress report, pay attention to that thing. We want to go for an A+ every day. We want to try for an A every day. If you get a B, that's a passing grade. You're doing good. But we want to go for an A. So we got to drink our water. That's check. I got a journal. You may be losing weight, but if you're not journaling, you're losing it without perfect days. This is the psychological part, right? We will eventually get complacent. We'll get too comfortable without a journal. If you've got a business here, you know that you have to keep inventory, yes? You have to it's like brushing your teeth. I brushed my teeth this morning. I put on my underarm deodorant. But I did not get up and go, I am so excited about putting on my underarm deodorant. It's just what I got to do to cohabitate with people. On this program, this is the brush your teeth component. You got to do it. Doesn't take long. If you're losing weight without it, I'm proud of you. You keep going. Don't be too hard on yourself, but start working on that. I just take photos with my smartphone and put it in at the end of the day. Next, combinations. We have to learn combos, and we're not talking about cheese-filled pretzels. We've got to learn how to combine foods together the right way. If I put the right amount of protein and fiber with a carb, I can blunt and dull that insulin activity. That's how I stay in EFB. Less insulin weekly, monthly, yearly, the more weight I'll lose, but the longer my lifespan, statistically speaking, and the better quality of life. This is super important. People get bogged down with it. It's never been easier. Yes, we used to have a combination chart, and we still do, but now with the support groups, the book, all the tools that you have at your disposal, it's never been easier to learn this. We start off with red column meals. You'll see a red column in the combination chart. Endless ideas. If we were only teaching a program with red column meals, and then you could still have holidays, what a whopper of a program. Then you got the yellow column, you got the blue column. The blue column saved my life. if you're looking at the combination chart in resources, it saved my life because it taught me how to have taters and corn, things that aren't necessarily good for me, but I love them. I enjoy them. There's nothing like a good old baked potato with butter and sour cream. I just had to switch out my butter, switch out my sour cream, and eat the potato with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. Why would I not do that if I really want my life back? So learn food, become an expert on food combining. Those of you that want to be a mentor, thank you, because I need your help. But you will have to master this because it's like one of the main, if you got a mentee, I don't understand. You'll hear that a million times. Start with red column, learn blue column, okay? Then you've got your portions. This portions for me has become an act of worship. I eat breakfast for the Father, lunch for the Son, dinner for the Holy Spirit, or less. And then that's it. If I'm hungry at night before bed, too bad, so sad. I have that's my, unless it's a holiday. That's how I live my life now. And it's been such a blessing. I feel better. I rarely eat 3 eating episodes now. I can't even believe I'm saying that. When I started, I had 3 meals, an approved snack, freebies all day, and it worked. But now I rarely eat more than twice a day. Food, been there, done that. It took some time to break down those strongholds that food had upon me. But now I don't feel good if I eat too much. We've got to stop the grazing. We're not cattle. Moo! We don't have like 2 stomachs with 4 chambers or whatever it is. Anytime we eat and we feel full, even if we follow the portion rule and even if it's a perfect day, if you feel the food in your gut, you have eaten too much. Even if it's a perfect day, you don't have to mark it a holiday, but you've eaten too much. We want to eat and still feel a likeness. It's not like it's the last meal. It's not the Last Supper. We're going to get to do it again tomorrow, and it'll be better if we don't overdo it today. Somebody shout. Let's march around the walls of Jericho and do the work, and then we'll have a shout, and the walls will come down. Portions, okay? You also need to get you a portion plate. You don't have to get mine. You can go get 7-inch plastic plates at the grocery store. We got a great little portion plate that gives you examples of how to combine food, or you can just go buy you a big stack, whatever you feel like doing. But I keep this in my survival kit. This is my stomach. This is my stomach. It tells me when I'm done. In fact, my stomach in its natural state would fit on this plate easily. This is my stomach. If you don't want to do a plate, put your hands together, interlock your thumbs. Don't do this. Put your fingers together. Put that right over your properly combined meal. And if there's none sticking out around the edges and it's not piled up any thicker than the thickest part of your hand, you are on point. Your calories will always be perfect. If you're a calorie counter, great. That's even better. But you'll never have to count calories here if you trust the foods, the category, and the portion rule. Then you have timing. We have simplified the timing rule. It's no longer spreading your meals out. That's fine to do. We have to have a certain amount of time not putting food into the manufacturing facility and let the equipment cool off, or we can't recover. We can't be well. Our immune system will suffer. Autoimmune issues will take off. So here's the timing rule. I don't care how you do your portion. I mean, how many times or how far apart they're spread. If you'll just make sure that we have a 12-hour fast minimum. Do not go beyond. You do not want to eat before 12 hours has expired. So if I stop eating at 8 p.m., I do not need to eat again until 8 a.m. That won't get you into autophagy We teach that in I Am Faithfully Fit. That won't get you into autophagy, but it will help you get through a couple of phases of digestion and recover better at night. You can do it. If you stop at 6, then you could eat again technically at 6 the next day. You probably won't want to. Don't have to. What we all want to work toward is a 16-hour fast. This is where we start touching that autophagy response, where we start getting rid of toxins. We start healing our cells. 16-hour fast a day is amazing. You probably will only eat 2 meals. You could have 3, but what that means, if I quit eating at 6, then I wouldn't eat again until at least 10 a.m. the next day. Is that right? It's 12? No. 8. No. Let's see, 12. Yeah, 10. So if I quit eating at 6, I wouldn't eat again until 10 a.m. the next day. What about breakfast, Travis? Breakfast just means you break the fast. Maybe your breakfast is like mine at noon. That's when I break the fast. If I do all this, I still haven't had a perfect day. Took me a long time to learn. I'm still learning. None of this matters if I don't bless the name of the Lord. However you want to say it. I need an attitude of gratitude, or we'll start doing this. We know that we're not blessing the name of the Lord. Uh-oh, I'm going to get in trouble. We know we're not blessing the name of the Lord when we do this. I'm starving to death. Are we? Is that being thankful? We have to pull ourselves up out of the miry clay. We can't get back into this stinking thinking of I'm starving to death and this is so hard. We got to work on mindfulness and gratitude and thank you, Lord, for giving me a way to heal my body. Physician, heal thyself. If I follow these rules, now there's ways to go faster, but these are the basics that anybody can do. And if you have 2 perfect days in a row, forget about what the scales say. You're now in EFB. You're efficiently burning fat because you're in a calorie deficit. You're controlling insulin and you're getting enough protein. And that's the end of today's lesson. Any questions? We will do this again tomorrow at 9 a.m. and we'll go through categories. Hopefully some are going through the fast track videos. Did you get anything today? Everything that you need is on that website. We've done that intentionally. Everything you need, you go to dashboard. If you're a Fast Track member, go to Fast Track. Go through your laps. It'll teach navigation. Start watching your videos, Fast Track with Travis. Everything you need to do Fast Track is in that dashboard. And then you have that amazing support group. Lisa, I just noticed there's not a, could you do something for me, Lisa? I know y'all are bombarded. We need to get with our team internally, and we need to add where they sign up for Travis.live notifications. Just call it live class notifications. And we need to add the support group where they can find the support group with more ease. Can you get with me?
Did you get it all set up though?
Can you get with our boss lady, Lara, and let her know that? Thank you, Lisa. Lara's the boss around here, isn't she, Lisa? That's Lisa's sister, everyone. Lara's the masterful mind behind the scenes. Any questions or comments? Anything? Thank you, Melissa. You don't know what to eat. Okay. So if you don't know what to eat, if you don't have the book and you don't know what to eat, this website's new. Let me see how I can help you. Let me see if there's a resource to help here. Bear with me. Fast track. Let's see if we put anything in there, because you're not learning. I get what you're saying. You didn't learn anything about how to eat today. I got it. And you don't have the book and can't afford it. Let's see. So where would I go? You could work with the generic meal planner. You should have gotten a welcome kit. So hit welcome kit and guidelines, and I think there's going to be some foods. 7-day kickstart. Check out those tools that I just went to. And if you can't find enough to get you started, email me. This goes over a 7-day meal plan, how to combine them. This is pretty, you may not find meals that you like, but this is pretty extensive. And if you're still struggling and can't find, you don't like any of these meals, reach out. So click your welcome kit and go through here. You got 7 days of meal plans. But here's my concern with doing it this way. Unless I personalize it for you, the old devil, when you look at the list, you're going to go, I don't eat fish, and you're going to quit. This is about teaching you how to do this for yourself. So if you don't find foods that you like, I'm happy to help you one-on-one, but you'll have to get an appointment. If you want to get out in front and you don't want to learn how to do it for yourself. Again, if you're foundation, journey, or champion, you have automatic meal planning, right? It'll do it based upon your likes. But what I probably need you to do is go to Fast Track and go to your food library. I just want to meet you where you are. You may not be where I'm at. You may not be that bought in yet. Go here and heart all your favorite foods. This is the small library. This is your combination chart for beginners. Heart your favorite foods and then reach out to us if you don't like any of those meal ideas on that list. And then we'll try to help you combine foods and get you some meal ideas together. We also do meal planning at least once a week with a live group. Right now, it's a challenge, 21-day self-mastery, but it teaches you how to put foods together. You also have, I know you said you couldn't afford it. When you can, you have this. You've got sandwich ideas. Let me just read some of this off in the Blowtorch book. Every combination is here. 7 and 2, grilled shrimp and asparagus, tuna and avocado salad, grilled chicken and mixed greens, shrimp and long grain brown rice, carrots, and even an orange for dessert, beef enchiladas, grilled shrimp, sandwich ideas, tons of pizza ideas, sandwich ideas, shake ideas, way over 100 meal ideas in this book if you're looking to get a jump start. All based upon the combination so that you're also learning combinations. Yes, Vicky says, look on the Facebook group. We put pictures of food there. Get in that group. Then all you got to do is put the white flag up, and we have so many good people that'll help. Shirley ate a lot of approved peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Me too. That's just 2 tablespoons of peanut butter or less with approved category 2 bread. Either put some berries if you're like going natural, or some sugar-free jelly if you don't care about going natural. Got peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. All you need to get through a few days while you're learning is a few ideas. Anybody else? Everybody satisfied? We will text out to the I Am Faithfully Fit group. We'll be meeting at 10:30. Everybody keep an eye out this week in the evenings for big announcements. We've got, it's going to be a week of threading the needle for me. Please pray for me. We got big announcements, and people that are with Shibboleth, you're going to have some options, but you have to decide what you're going to do within the next week or two. So if you're not I Am Faithfully Fit, be on the lookout for these meetings I host in the evening. If you can't come, then make sure you watch the recording, because I literally will only have a week or two for people to decide if they want to come go with us. You'll have some good options. Nobody should be angry, but just be on the lookout for that, because once that window closes, I'll have to say goodbye to all that Shibboleth data. We want to figure out who wants to get transitioned over, who doesn't. Won't cost you anything else if you don't want it to. We just have to make some decisions together. Everybody good? All right. I'll see my Faithfully Fit folks in just a few minutes. Love y'all. I'm going to close us out in prayer. I say the Lord's Prayer a lot. Sometimes we pray from the heart. Sometimes others have an unction. But our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ said that he knows what we need before we do. He knows what we have need of. It helps my state of mind. It brings me back to the present moment. And sometimes life just gets in the way, and you don't have any deep, heartfelt supplications. The Lord's Prayer will get the job done. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in the earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day, Lord, our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Amen. Thank y'all so much. See you in a little bit.